Captain Jake Morrison walked into the United Nations building with heavy steps. His uniform was perfectly pressed, but his face showed the stress of many sleepless nights. Today would change everything for humanity, one way or another. The meeting room was filled with representatives from every nation on Earth. President Helen Wright sat at the head table, her hands folded tightly. General Peter Kane stood by the wall, watching everyone with sharp eyes. Dr. Lisa Carter sat near the front, her laptop open and showing data streams from deep space. Jake stepped up to the podium and looked out at the faces staring back at him. These people held the future of humanity in their hands. He cleared his throat and began to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached a critical point in human history. For 30 years, we have tried to join the galactic community as peaceful neighbors. We have sent ambassadors to alien worlds. We have offered trade agreements. We have shared our culture and our knowledge. In return, we have been treated like children who should stay in their room. The room was completely silent. Everyone knew this moment had been coming for years. Jake continued, "The Xanthari Empire blocks our ships from using the main trade routes. They say humans are too violent and unpredictable. The Kelvonic Federation refuses to let our scientists study in their universities. They claim we lack the intelligence to understand advanced concepts. 47 different alien civilizations have formed the Galactic Purity Coalition with one simple goal: keep humanity trapped in our own solar system." Dr. Carter stood up and activated the large screen behind Jake. Images appeared showing alien fleets gathering at the edges of human space. Massive ships with weapons that could destroy entire cities floated in the darkness between stars. "This morning, our deep space sensors detected something troubling," Lisa said. "Every major alien military force is moving toward our borders. They are not coming to talk. They are coming to make sure we never leave our home system again." A man in the crowd raised his hand. "What do they want from us?" Jake looked directly at him. "They want us to disappear. They want humans to stay on Earth and never bother them again. They want us to accept that we will always be second-class citizens in our own galaxy." President Wright stood up slowly. Her voice carried the weight of billions of people when she spoke. "That is not acceptable. Humanity has the right to explore the stars. We have the right to trade freely. We have the right to exist as equals among the species of this galaxy." General Kane stepped forward. "Our intelligence reports show they are planning something big. The alien fleets are not just gathering to watch us. They are preparing to enforce their will on Earth." Jake nodded. "Which brings us to why we are here today. Humanity will send one final message to every alien civilization in the galaxy. We will give them exactly 72 hours to recognize our equal rights. We want open trade routes. We want access to their knowledge and technology. We want the same respect they give each other. And if they refuse?" asked a woman from the back of the room. The room fell silent again. Everyone knew this was the most important question of all. Jake's voice became very serious. "Then humanity will take the necessary steps to secure our place in the galaxy. We will not attack innocent civilians. We will not destroy their worlds. But we will show them that ignoring humanity comes with consequences." Dr. Carter brought up new images on the screen. These showed human ships scattered throughout the galaxy. Most people had never seen these vessels before. They looked different from normal human ships. Sleeker, darker, designed for stealth. For the past 5 years, Captain Morrison has led a classified project, Lisa explained. Human ships have been quietly mapping every major alien facility in 40 star systems. We know where their communication centers are located. We know how their power grids work. We know the weak points in their technology. A general from Russia leaned forward. "You are talking about war." Jake shook his head. "No, sir. War is what they are planning to bring to our doorstep. What we are planning is a demonstration. A way to show them that humanity is not helpless, that ignoring us is a mistake they will regret." President Wright activated her own communication device. "Send the message to all alien civilizations immediately. They have 72 hours to respond positively to our requests. Make sure every alien leader receives this message personally." The next 3 days passed slowly. Dr. Carter monitored every communication channel. Hoping to receive some sign that the aliens were taking humanity seriously, her team worked around the clock, listening for any response from the dozens of alien civilizations. Captain Alex Turner watched from his command station on the orbital platform, New Horizon. Through the massive windows, he could see alien ships gathering just beyond Earth's solar system. More arrived every hour. Their weapons were powered up and ready. They were not coming to negotiate. On the third day, Jake stood in the communication center with Dr. Carter. The deadline had arrived. Exactly 72 hours had passed since humanity sent its ultimatum to the galaxy. Lisa looked up from her console with sad eyes. Nothing, Captain. Not a single response from any alien government. They are completely ignoring us. Through the window, they could see the alien fleets moving closer to Earth's outer planets. The aliens had made their choice. They would rather risk conflict than treat humans as equals. Jake picked up the secure communication device that connected him to human commanders throughout the galaxy. His voice was calm but determined when he spoke. This is Captain Morrison to all units. The deadline has passed with no response from alien civilizations. They have chosen to ignore humanity's peaceful requests. All units are authorized to proceed with Silent Sky Protocol. Show them what happens when you ignore the human race. Across the galaxy, human commanders received the message. Ships that had been hiding in asteroid belts and dark nebulae suddenly came to life. Crews that had been waiting for months, finally, had their orders. The aliens thought they could simply ignore humanity forever. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The stars themselves would go silent before this day ended. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Nathan Brooks walked through corridors that officially did not exist. The facility was buried so deep that even nuclear weapons could not reach it. For 30 years, the brightest human minds had worked here, in complete secrecy. Nathan stopped at a massive steel door marked with warning signs in 12 languages. His hand scanner verified his identity, and the door opened with a soft hiss. Inside, banks of computers filled a room the size of a football field. This was the heart of Project Silent Sky. Status report, Nathan said to his assistant, Dr. Amy. Foster.Amy looked up from her console. All systems are ready, sir. We have confirmed connections to human assets in 40 star systems. Every major alien communication network has been mapped and analyzed. Our cyber warfare programs are loaded and ready to deploy. Nathan nodded. The work had taken decades to complete. Every time a human ship visited an alien world, it secretly planted tiny devices near important facilities. Every human diplomat carried hidden scanners that mapped alien technology. Every human trader recorded the locations of power plants and communication centers. The aliens had been so confident in their superiority that they never suspected humans were studying them. They treated human visitors like tourists, never imagining that those same humans were quietly learning every detail about alien infrastructure. Colonel Maria Santos walked into the room carrying a tablet filled with mission reports. As the commanding officer of Earth's Special Operations Division, she had spent years training the teams that would carry out today's mission. All strike teams report ready for deployment, Maria said. We have 200 ships positioned throughout the galaxy. Each team has been studying their targets for months. They know exactly where to strike and exactly how long the blackout will last. Nathan pulled up a holographic display showing the galaxy. Red dots marked every alien facility that would be hit simultaneously. Blue dots showed human positions. The aliens had no idea how many humans were already in their territory. The beauty of this plan is its simplicity, Nathan explained to the gathered commanders. We are not trying to destroy anything permanently. We are not trying to kill anyone. We are just going to turn off their lights for 24 hours. Captain Troy Hamilton listened from his command chair aboard the stealth destroyer Ghostwind. His ship had been hiding in an asteroid field near the Zenthari homeworld for 3 months. The aliens passed within a few miles of his position. Every day, never knowing humans were watching them. Troy's mission was to disable the main communication relay that connected the Zenthari Empire to the rest of the galaxy. Without that relay, billions of aliens would be cut off from all outside contact. They would be as isolated as they had tried to make humanity. This is not about revenge, Maria continued her briefing. This is about respect. For 30 years, alien civilizations have treated humans like children. They have blocked our expansion, limited our trade, and excluded us from galactic affairs. Today we show them that children do not build technology like this. The plan had required incredible coordination. Human engineers had developed new types of electromagnetic pulse weapons that could shut down alien computers without causing permanent damage. Human hackers had created viruses specifically designed to attack alien software systems. Human physicists had found ways to temporarily disable the quantum communication networks that connected alien worlds. President Helen Wright appeared on the main screen, broadcasting from the White House Situation Room. Citizens of Earth, today, we take our rightful place among the civilizations of the galaxy. We do not seek war, but we will no longer accept being treated as inferior beings. In space stations around Earth, human families watched the news broadcasts. They knew their loved ones were scattered across the galaxy on this dangerous mission. Children looked up at the stars and wondered if their parents would come home safely. Dr. Carter monitored alien communications from her station. "Their fleets are still gathering at our borders," she reported. "They show no signs of retreat. If anything, more ships are arriving every hour." The alien commanders were confident in their superior technology. The Xanthari Empire had weapons that could crack planets in half. The Kelvonic Federation possessed shields that could stop any known weapon. Smaller alien civilizations had formed alliances that gave them control over entire sectors of space. What they did not have was experience fighting humans who had been pushed too far. Captain Sam Johnson piloted his stealth frigate through the outer edges of the Kelvonic star system. His target was the central banking facility that processed all interstellar trade for the Federation. When that facility went dark, the entire Kelvonic economy would freeze. "Remember, people," Sam broadcast to his crew, "we hit hard and fast, then disappear. The aliens think they know everything about human capabilities. Today we prove them wrong." The countdown reached its final minutes. Across the galaxy, human teams prepared to strike simultaneously. The timing had to be perfect. If even one team struck too early, the aliens might have time to warn the others. Nathan watched the clock on his wall. 30 seconds. 20. 10. At exactly midnight Greenwich Mean Time, he pressed the button that would change galactic history forever. In 40 star systems, human ships suddenly appeared from their hiding places. Stealth systems deactivated as ships moved toward their targets at maximum speed. The aliens had ignored humanity's ultimatum. Now they would learn what that mistake would cost them. The Great Silence was about to begin. Lieutenant Kevin Davis moved through the shadows of the Xanthari communication facility on Proxima 7. His team had spent 6 months studying this building. They knew every guard rotation, every security system, every weak point in the alien defenses. The Xanthari had built their facility to be impenetrable. Massive walls surrounded the complex. Energy shields protected the main buildings. Automated weapons scanned for intruders 24 hours a day. But the aliens had made one critical mistake. They had designed their security to stop alien threats, not human ones. Kevin's team wore suits that bent light around them, making them nearly invisible. Human technology had advanced far beyond what the aliens believed possible. While they spent decades ignoring humanity, human scientists had been working day and night to catch up. "Team Alpha in position," Kevin whispered into his communicator. "Target acquired." The main communication hub rose before them like a silver tower. Inside that building, quantum processors handled trillions of messages every second. The entire Xanthari Empire depended on this facility to coordinate their vast civilization. Kevin pulled out a device the size of a baseball. It contained technology that would have been impossible just 5 years ago. When activated, it would send out an electromagnetic pulse specifically designed to shut down Xanthari computers. The pulse would not hurt any living beings, but it would make their technology completely useless. "All teams report ready," came the voice from command. Kevin looked at his watch. In exactly 30 seconds, human teams would strike simultaneously across the galaxy. The aliens who had dismissed humanity as primitive were about to see what 30 years of determination could accomplish. 5 seconds, the voice said. 4, 3, 2. Execute. Kevin activated the device and threw it toward the communication tower. The pulse spread out in all directions, invisible but devastating. Within moments, every computer in the complex went dark. Emergency lights flickered and died. The proud Xanthari communication network fell silent. Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out on dozens of worlds. Captain Sam Johnson's frigate approached the Kelvonic banking facility. The aliens detected his ship just moments before he launched his attack, but it was already too late. Sam's weapons were not designed to destroy the building. Instead, they sent carefully calculated energy bursts that overloaded every electronic system inside. The facility that processed the wealth of an entire civilization suddenly could not even turn on its lights. Target neutralized, Sam reported. Kelvonic central banking is offline. On the planet Vextar, Sergeant Lisa Harper led her team through the underground tunnels that powered the world's energy grid. The aliens had built these tunnels to be completely secure, but they had not considered that humans might be small enough to crawl through the maintenance shafts. Lisa planted her charges at precisely calculated points along the main power conduits. When they exploded, they would not cause permanent damage, but they would shut down electricity for the entire planet. A world that had never experienced darkness in over 1,000 years was about to learn what it felt like to live without power. Dr. Amy Foster watched the operation unfold from her command center on Earth. Her computer screen showed the status of every human team. Red lights turned green as each target was successfully neutralized. Xanthari Central Communications offline, she reported. Kelvonic banking system down. Vextar power grid disabled. All primary targets neutralized within the first 10 minutes. But the humans were just getting started. Their next targets were the relay stations that allowed different alien civilizations to communicate with each other. These stations floated in empty space between star systems, protected by automated defenses that had never been tested against human ingenuity. Captain Troy Hamilton guided his stealth destroyer toward the massive communication relay that served 12 different alien worlds. The station was the size of a small moon, covered with antenna arrays and quantum processors that handled interstellar communications. Beginning final approach, Troy announced. Defense systems are active, but they cannot detect us. The alien defenses were looking for large ships with obvious weapon signatures. They were not designed to notice a human vessel using technology that made it nearly invisible to sensors. Troy's ship appeared on their screens as nothing more than a piece of space debris. Troy launched a spread of specialized missiles toward the relay station. Each missile contained a computer virus designed specifically to attack the station's control systems. When the virus is activated, the entire relay would shut down, cutting communication between dozens of alien worlds. Direct hit, Troy reported. The relay is going dark. Across the galaxy, similar attacks were taking place every few minutes. Human teams struck with surgical precision, disabling critical infrastructure without causing any permanent damage. They had spent years learning exactly how alien technology worked, and now they were using that knowledge to turn it off. On the Xanthari homeworld, Admiral Veltar sat in his command center watching his empire fall apart around him. First, the communication networks had gone silent. Then the power grids began failing. Now reports were coming in from colonies throughout Xanthari space. Everything was shutting down simultaneously. How is this possible? Veltar demanded. These humans are supposed to be primitives. They barely have faster-than-light travel. His aide looked up from a dark computer console. Sir, we cannot contact any of our fleet commanders. All long-range communications are down. We do not even know if our ships near Earth are still functional. On the Kelvonic homeworld, similar panic was spreading. Prime Minister Hestara stared at screens that showed nothing but error messages. Her civilization's carefully maintained trade networks had collapsed in minutes. Banks could not process transactions. Ships could not navigate between stars. Even basic planetary infrastructure was failing. Impossible, she whispered. The humans do not have this kind of technology. Our intelligence reports said they were decades behind us. What the aliens did not understand was that being underestimated had been humanity's greatest advantage. While alien civilizations became comfortable with their technological superiority, Humans had been forced to innovate. Being excluded from galactic society had made them self-reliant and creative. Dr. Carter smiled as she watched the status reports flow in from across the galaxy. Phase 1 complete, she announced. All major communication networks are offline. Phase 2 beginning now. Phase 2 targeted the systems that alien civilizations needed for basic survival. Life support systems on space stations. Navigation computers on starships. Traffic control systems on busy trade routes. All of these would be temporarily disabled, showing the aliens exactly how dependent they had become on technology. Within 6 hours of the first strike, 47 alien civilizations found themselves completely cut off from the galaxy. They could not communicate with their colonies. They could not coordinate their military forces. They could not even contact the ships that were supposed to be watching Earth. For the first time in recorded history, the galaxy had gone silent. And humanity was the only species that still had a voice. Admiral Veltar sat in his darkened command center, trying to understand how his mighty empire had been brought to its knees in just a few hours. Emergency lighting cast strange shadows on the walls. The quantum communication systems that had connected the Xanthari Empire for over 1,000 years lay silent and useless. Status report, he demanded, though he already knew the answer would be bad. Sir, we have lost contact with 90% of our fleet, his communications officer reported. All major colonies are experiencing complete system failures. Even our homeworld's orbital defenses are offline. Veltar could not believe what he was hearing. The Xanthari Empire controlled hundreds of worlds. They had technology that other species could only dream about. How could these primitive humans have caused such devastation? On the other side of the galaxy, Kelvonic Prime Minister Hestara faced similar chaos. Her office windows looked out over a city that had never known darkness, but tonight the lights were out. The power grid that supplied energy to billions of citizens had failed completely. The economic damage is catastrophic, her finance minister reported. Without our central banking systems, all interstellar trade has stopped. Ships are stranded at ports throughout the Federation because they cannot pay for fuel or supplies. Hestara closed her eyes. The Kelvonic Federation had spent centuries building the most advanced economic system in the galaxy. Now it was all gone, destroyed by a species they had considered beneath their notice. How did the humans do this? She asked. Our intelligence said they were barely capable of leaving their own solar system. General Peter Kane stood in the Pentagon war room on Earth, watching reports flow in from around the galaxy. Maps showed the locations of every disabled alien facility. Status boards tracked the progress of human teams as they completed their missions. Phase 3 is beginning now, he announced to the room full of military leaders. Our teams are now targeting secondary infrastructure, transportation systems, manufacturing facilities, research stations. By tomorrow morning, these alien civilizations will be completely isolated from each other. President Wright joined him at the main display screen. Any casualties reported? None so far, Kane replied. Our people are following orders exactly. Disable the technology but do no harm to alien civilians. This is not about killing. This is about teaching a lesson. Captain Rachel Stone commanded the patrol ship Liberty as it approached a disabled Xanthari colony. The world below had been cut off from all outside contact for 12 hours. Their leaders would be desperate for information about what was happening. Rachel activated her ship's communication system and began broadcasting on emergency frequencies. This is Captain Stone of the human vessel Liberty. I am speaking to the leaders of Xanthari Colony 7. There was a long pause before a response came through. This is Governor Kexmal. Are you responsible for the attacks on our systems? Yes, Rachel replied simply. Earth sent an ultimatum to your government 72 hours ago. Your leaders chose to ignore it completely. This is the result of that choice. What do you want from us? The governor asked. Rachel's voice remained calm and professional. We want what we have always wanted. Equal treatment, open trade routes, access to galactic knowledge and technology, the same respect you give to each other. And if we refuse, then you will remain cut off from the galaxy until you change your minds. Your choice. Similar conversations were taking place on dozens of worlds throughout alien space. Human ships appeared at isolated colonies and offered the same message. When you are ready to treat humanity as equals, Earth will listen. On the Zenthari homeworld, panic was spreading through the civilian population. Citizens who had never experienced a single day without instant communication to anywhere in the galaxy now found themselves completely alone. The government could not even contact ships in orbit around their own planet. Admiral Veltar gathered his remaining officers in the emergency command bunker. We cannot allow these humans to humiliate the Empire like this. We must strike back. How, sir? Asked his tactical officer. We cannot communicate with our fleets. We do not know which of our ships are still functional. We cannot even contact our intelligence agents to learn what the humans are planning next. Veltar slammed his fist on the table. Then we use what we have. Every ship in this system, every orbital platform, every defense satellite. We launch a direct assault on the human homeworld. His officers looked uncertain. Sir, that would mean leaving our own worlds undefended. If the humans have more surprises waiting. They are just humans, Veltar shouted. We have been building warships for 1,000 years. They have been in space for barely 50. Numbers and experience must count for something. But even as he spoke, Veltar knew the situation was more complicated than he wanted to admit. The humans had demonstrated capabilities that nobody had expected. They had struck simultaneously across the galaxy with perfect coordination. They had disabled technology that was supposed to be impossible to hack. Dr. Carter monitored alien communications from her station on Earth. Most alien worlds had gone completely silent, but her equipment was sensitive enough to detect the few emergency signals that were still getting through. They are trying to organize a counterattack, she reported to General Kane. Several alien fleets are attempting to regroup near their homeworlds. Kane nodded. Expected. How many ships are we talking about? Hard to say exactly, but probably several hundred vessels from different species. They are planning to combine their remaining forces for a joint assault on Earth. Let them come, Kane said quietly. Our people have been preparing for this possibility. The aliens did not know about humanity's final surprise. While they had been building their fleets and planning their attack, human shipyards had been working around the clock. New ships with technology the aliens had never seen were waiting in the outer solar system. Captain Alex Turner watched from his orbital platform as alien vessels began appearing at the edge of Earth's solar system. They came in small groups at first ships that had managed to escape the chaos in their own territories, but within hours a sizable fleet was gathering. Count is now at 412 vessels, Turner reported. Multiple species represented. They are maintaining formation just outside sensor range. The alien commanders thought they had found Earth's weakness. The humans had launched surprise attacks across the galaxy, but surely they had not kept many ships back to defend their homeworld. A massive assault would overwhelm whatever defenses Earth could muster. They were about to learn how wrong they were. Admiral Kate Murphy received her orders directly from President Wright. Admiral, you are authorized to defend Earth by any means necessary. Show them what humanity has built while they were busy ignoring us. Murphy smiled as she activated her fleet's communication systems. All ships, this is Admiral Murphy. Alien. Forces are gathering to attack our homeworld. They think we are weak because we are young. Today we prove them wrong. The final battle for humanity's place in the galaxy was about to begin. Admiral Veltar stood on the bridge of his flagship as the combined alien fleet moved toward Earth. Ships from dozens of different civilizations flew in formation around him. Zenthari battlecruisers, Kelvonic destroyers, and vessels from 30 other species that had never worked together before. This is our chance to restore order to the galaxy, he announced over the fleet communication system. These humans have shown they are too dangerous to be left alone. Today we end their threat forever. The alien fleet numbered over 600 ships. Each vessel carried weapons capable of destroying cities. Their combined firepower could turn Earth's surface into molten glass. Veltar was confident that no primitive human force could stand against such overwhelming power. But as they approached the inner solar system, his sensors began detecting something unexpected. Human ships were rising to meet them, but not the small patrol craft the aliens had expected. These were massive warships unlike anything in the intelligence reports. Admiral Kate Murphy watched the alien fleet approach from the bridge of her flagship, Defiant. Around her, the Earth Defense Fleet moved into battle formation. 300 human warships arranged themselves in perfect geometric patterns that would have been impossible without advanced computer coordination. Alien Fleet, this is Admiral Murphy of the Earth Defense Force, she transmitted on all frequencies. You are entering human territory with hostile intent. Turn back now or face the consequences. Veltar laughed when he heard the message. 300 ships against 600? These humans are either very brave or very stupid. Perhaps both, his tactical officer replied. But look at those ship designs. I have never seen anything like them. The human warships were sleek and angular, covered with armor that seemed to absorb light itself. Their weapons arrays were larger than anything the aliens had encountered. Most disturbing of all, they moved with a precision that suggested computer systems far more advanced than the aliens possessed. All ships, open fire, Veltar commanded. The alien fleet unleashed everything they had at the human formation. Energy beams that could cut through asteroids, missiles that could crack moons, particle weapons that had never failed to destroy their targets. The humans responded with defensive systems the aliens had never seen before. Energy shields absorbed and redirected incoming fire. Point defense lasers destroyed incoming missiles before they could impact. Electronic warfare systems confused alien targeting computers. Impossible, Veltar whispered as he watched his fleet's best weapons fail to damage a single human ship. Admiral Murphy smiled grimly as her fleet absorbed the alien attack without losses. Their technology is exactly what we expected. Our turn. The human fleet opened fire with weapons that defied alien understanding. Beam weapons that seemed to ignore shields entirely. Missiles that could change direction faster than alien computers could track them. Energy bursts that overloaded alien systems just like the attacks on their homeworlds. Within minutes, alien ships were losing power and drifting helplessly through space. Their weapons fell silent. Their shields collapsed. Their engines died. This is impossible, Veltar shouted as his own ship's systems began failing. How do they have such advanced technology? Captain Sam Johnson piloted his ship through the battle, marveling at how easily the human fleet was winning. 30 years of being underestimated really paid off, he said to his crew. While they were ignoring us, we were building something they never expected. The battle lasted less than 2 hours. When it ended, the alien fleet was completely disabled but still intact. Admiral Murphy had given strict orders. Disable their ships but do not destroy them. Humanity would show mercy even in victory. Alien fleet, this is Admiral Murphy, she transmitted. Your ships are disabled, but your crews are unharmed. We are sending rescue vessels to assist with life support and medical needs. Veltar could not believe what he was hearing. You are offering to help us? This is what mercy looks like, Murphy replied. Something your civilizations forgot when you tried to keep us isolated. Over the following weeks, the galaxy began to understand what had really happened. The human attacks had been carefully planned to avoid casualties while demonstrating overwhelming technological superiority. Alien infrastructure was slowly restored, but now everyone knew that Earth could disable it again whenever they chose. 6 months later, the Galactic Council met an emergency session at a neutral space station. For the first time in galactic history, a human representative sat at the main table as an equal member. Ambassador John Parker looked around at the alien delegates who had once dismissed humanity as primitive. Now they listened respectfully as he outlined Earth's terms for joining galactic civilization. Humanity seeks partnership, not dominance, he said. We want open trade routes between all worlds. We want scientific cooperation that benefits every species. We want an end to the policies that kept us isolated and ignored. The Xanthari delegate stood slowly. On behalf of the Empire, I formally apologize for our past treatment of humanity. We underestimated your capabilities and your determination. It will not happen again. Similar apologies came from other species. The Kelvonic Federation offered a mutual defense treaty. Smaller civilizations requested human assistance in rebuilding their damaged infrastructure. Dr. Carter, now serving as Earth's Director of Galactic Communications, watched the proceedings with satisfaction. The galaxy had learned an important lesson about underestimating humanity. Captain Jake Morrison, recently promoted to Admiral, made the final entry in his official log. The aliens wanted to keep us isolated and ignored. Instead, they taught us to be self-reliant and innovative. When they finally pushed too far, we showed them exactly what 30 years of human determination could accomplish. On Earth, children looked up at the stars and saw a galaxy full of possibilities rather than barriers. Human ships now traveled freely throughout space, carrying traders, scientists, and diplomats to worlds that had once been forbidden. The stars were no longer silent, and humanity's voice was heard clearly throughout the galaxy. President Wright stood at the window of her office, looking up at the night sky. Somewhere out there, human colonies were being established on worlds that wanted human technology and expertise. Human scientists were working with alien researchers on projects that would benefit everyone. They thought ignoring us would make us disappear, she said to General Kane, who stood beside her. Instead, it made us stronger. Kane nodded. And now they know that humanity will never be ignored again. The galaxy had learned to respect the species from the small blue planet in the outer rim. Earth had taken its place among the stars not through conquest or destruction, but through determination and the simple refusal to accept being treated as inferior. The human race had finally come home to the galaxy.